Everyone keeps asking what happened to us like it's a mystery. Oh, what's befallen the American people? How could this have happened? He happened to us. How is that even a question? The fish rots from the head, and when you allow someone who is so devoid of any sort of moral standing whatsoever, of course this is what was going to happen. Why is that even a question? I'm left incredulous about it. The Joker administration is currently seeking $275 million from the Justice Department because of the pain and suffering that befell him because of all these investigations about him. That's a bold choice. That's completely crazy, but of course he is. And the person who's in charge of signing off on this settlement is his personal lawyer who defended him during these proceedings. And while it would be easy just to point our fingers at them and say how crazy they are, of course that's what happened, because why did you even open all of these investigations if you weren't going to close them? You guys didn't want to look mean, didn't want to look bad, didn't want to interfere with democracy. So you went through all of this time, all of this energy, wasted American dollars for years, and then did absolutely nothing about it. I think you owe us $275 million because you had the opportunity to prevent this from happening in the first place. And one day when we have trials, Nuremberg style, I hope that you guys have to stand there too. Because you allowed this felon to get in there. You allowed Rule 14.3 to just be swept right over, and now look where we are. That's on you too. You nullified our laws long before he did. And all of you are going to have to come to terms with that at some point. The Frozen Water folks are now acquiring missiles. Yeah, actual missiles to, I don't know, use on American citizens, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. I don't know why else they would need them. They're not allowed to leave the country. They are based here. So what else would they need them for? I mean, we are in the middle of a government shutdown, so in theory, maybe, probably, allegedly, he could just be using that as a way to fill the pockets of some of his weapons dealers' buddies. That's the best case scenario, is that they're using this as yet another money grab, yet another way for him to pay off the favors for the people who got him there in the first place. But we shouldn't be surprised, right? Because the fish rots from the head. There are thousands of women right now sitting in a Louisiana detention facility called the Redwood facility, and 96% of them have absolutely no criminal record whatsoever, and they're being held in deplorable conditions. They aren't able to bathe, their toilets are all backing up, and they're given food that is expired, rancid, and not suitable for consumption. These women are suffering every single day, and yet people are coming out here just talking about the most ridiculous things. The first thing that we should be dealing with is the blatant human rights abuses that are happening in our country, and I have such a hard time even talking about it because it brings me to tears every single time. What if that was your mom? What if that was your sister? What if that was your aunt, your grandma, your friend, and you're leaving them in these places for months on end? Why? Why? The only thing these people have ever done for you is to raise your children, clean your homes, be your friend. They're working members of our society, and we're treating them worse than you would treat a dog. If you treated a dog that way, you would go to jail. But that's what he would do. So of course that's what we're doing, because the fish rots from the head. The Frozen Water folks in Idaho had a joint investigation on illegal horse gambling yesterday, and they descended on this horse track like they were busting up El Chapo, right? They brought in helicopters and artillery and were banging people with rubber bullets, and they were zip tying children as young as 5 years old, all for the sake of 5 people that were betting on horses. Meanwhile, the Joker's accepting planes he shouldn't be accepting. He has cryptocurrency. He has failed to disinvest from anything that he could have possibly been profiting off of, and now his net worth is 8 times what it was when he got in there. And you're willing to zip tie children because they were at a racetrack. Like, wow. What happened to us? He happened to us. That should not be a surprise to anybody. Yesterday, the Joker was given the Richard Nixon Architect of Peace Award. Yeah, because that's what Richard Nixon is known for, architecting peace. And that just feels too on the nose to me. Because the reason why Richard Nixon was not allowed to stay in office was because back then we had a Republican Party with a backbone. We had people who actually cared about the Constitution, and when they saw this corruption that would be nothing compared to the corruption that we're seeing right now, they said no and they got rid of him. And we don't have that anymore because the fish rots from the head, and we allowed his psyche to pervade 50% of our country at best. And we allowed his malignant narcissism to take over the psyche of nearly half of our country. That's what happened. There was a report that came out of Washington that said that someone hired a construction company to complete a job for him, and then he called the frozen water folks on these people so that he wouldn't have to pay them. I wonder whose playbook he got that idea out of. This is not a surprise. It shouldn't be a surprise, but I tell you what, we see it. We see you, sir, and you will not win. We are all sitting here with eyes wide open, and yeah, there's a lot going on right now. It is locked and loaded, but you will not make it out of this unscathed. Mark my words about that, because I know who I am. I know the land that birthed me, and we will not stand for this for long. Stand up, link arms, get loud, and let's continue to shine the light on everything that they are doing now, and make sure that we remember this so that it never happens again. Keep your eyes up, keep your feet on the ground. I'll see you next time. Ta-ta.